Hey Jeremy, Heath here. I just wanted to do a quick video, quick shout out to Eric Brewer. Thanks Eric mate for all your help getting us started with the novation process. It's a very cool tool to have in the arsenal, something that a lot of investors don't have, and it really does open up a lot of options. So I've got a couple of examples that I wanted to share with you guys. Before I go through the examples, I guess I want to give the overview, I think, of how this changed for us. And really, the first thing that Novations help is it does help you to contract houses at a higher price. But I think more than that, it really gives another solution to the home sellers. And I think what's really important is that you understand that with this strategy, you're really giving sellers an option to help them sell their house in a hassle-free way and without all the headaches of a traditional sale. And so when you come at it from that angle, it makes a lot of sense. But just in terms of a couple of examples that I wanted to share with you, the first deal that we had was a deal in a nice area of San Antonio. You know, our median house price is around $250,000, and this house was worth probably $525 if you did a better rehab on it, maybe in the high 500s. So definitely a higher ARV property. And we were able to contract this house at $435,000. Now, after contracting it, we did put about $11,000 of money into the property. This included doing some staging, some painting, some landscaping. And then once we found an end buyer through the novation process, we had to also do some repairs for the roof, which was pretty significant, about $5,000 in repairs. So we were all into the repairs on this for $11,000, contracted it at $535, but we were able to sell the property for $525,000. To a bank qualified buyer. So we ended up netting $51,000 on this. And this is definitely a deal that in the past, there's no way we would have contracted something this high. Those numbers, $435 contract price, $11,000 repairs, $525 for the ARV, that's an 85% purchase price. And for something at that high in ARV, there's no way we would take on that risk. But the cool thing about the novation strategy is you're not taking on the ownership and the high holding costs. We did have some cash out when we were doing the repairs, but we had a strong end buyer at $525. We also knew we had some backup options as well. So really cool example for us, something we definitely would have not considered doing in the past. It netted us $51K, and the lead time on it was under 60 days from start to finish. So that was really cool. The second example that I wanted to share with you guys was something a little bit more different. It was a church, and this is what I kind of found with the novation. It enables you to maybe contract deals that in the past, if you were just trying to do a straight cash offer, it kind of opens up your eyes to it. And so for this particular deal, as a church, we don't get many leads like this. We put a value on the church of maybe 135, 140. It was very hard to get a comp on it. And at the time, we did provide two options to the seller. And this is what we do all the time when doing novations. We'll give them a cash purchase option, which is, the lower option, 70 or 75% less repairs. And if that doesn't work for them, we give them the novation option, and we explain that while, we're able to get them a higher price than what the cash offer provides, in exchange, we really need them to understand what's involved in the process and to really be flexible with us through the sales process, knowing that we're there to support them getting the highest price possible. So in this particular example, the seller, he said our cash price was $82,000. He rejected it, but he was open to the novation, which was $110,000, so significantly higher. So we listed the property at $139,900. We did get an offer. It did, like a day before closing, it fell through. And so, we went back to the seller, gave him an update to let him know, hey, it fell through at the 11th hour. We did our best, and at this point he was still happy because he knew that we'd been working to get him the best offer, but his situation had now changed. So he had said, hey, I know this closing fell through. I actually now am in a situation where I think I may be open to that cash offer. So he asked if the $82,000 was still on the table. So I said, let me look at the numbers and I'll confirm. Got back to him and said we can still make that work. And then we closed in 5 days from that point at $82,000. So he ended up pivoting back to the cash option, which is something that I think can happen with novations from time to time. We ended up putting maybe $2,000 extra work into it for some repairs that were identified from the previous buyer. We listed it again at $139,900. And about 45 days later, we found a cash buyer for 135. So we ended up making 39,000 on it. We would have never even looked at that deal. You know, initially at the contract price of 110, we would have never even contracted that and started the working relationship with the seller. But the key to him wanting to work with us after the first deal fell through was that he could see that we were there to serve him. And that's really at the heart of the novation process. You have to come from a place of service, and the idea is, hey, I know that I gave you a cash price and that didn't work, but I'm still willing, or our team's still willing to bust our butt to get you the highest price possible for your house. The way we're going to probably have to do that is we may have to make some small improvements to the house, but we'll put the money in to do that so that we can maximize the sales price. And by doing so, we're going to be able to maximize the amount of money that we can give to you. So there's a couple of quick examples. I hope that helped, and I definitely want to say thank you to Eric. You know, I had several calls with Eric through the process, and he was super helpful. Couldn't have done it without you, mate. I really appreciate it. Thanks.